Today's edition of my video podcast is brought to you by, no, not Fiji, but water from my tap. So, hello everyone. I'm sorry, I'm still got this protein bar in my mouth a bit. I just came from the gym. Before I get started, any of you go to the gym sometimes, and you know you get these people, different characters. You get the personal trainer, you get the woman in the overly tight yoga pants doing inappropriate stretches, making eye contact with you. Maybe it's just me. You get the other guy, and this is my favourite one. When they come in, let me get my headphones. Right, they'll come in, they'll have these headphones on, like this. They'll have the sweatbands all across their head, sweatbands here, and you'll go next to them and you'll hear, and I like to call these people the eye of the tiger man. And every gym has them. No matter where you go, you have the eye of the tiger guy. And you'll be near him and you'll hear that dun, 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 and you'll just hear the beat, and then you'll see them doing bicep curls or squats or something, and they'll be like, I am the tiger, it's the real of the fight, and then they've got this, and then they're like, I am the tiger, it's the fight, looking like they're going to do a shit at any point. Got the tiger, and then it goes, oh, the tiger! And as they get to that bit, they throw the weights down on the ground at you, look like a complete fool, get their MP3 player, and you just see them go rewind and then replay that song. If anyone else gets that kind of guy in the gym, please tell me, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who has that. Anyways, what was I going to talk about? I hope you like the t-shirt, by the way. What was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about WWE. So this is going to be a change of pace from the last couple of MMA videos, though I have one planned and I've got one in the can to be uploaded. But something hit me the other day when I was watching Raw, and I was talking about it a little bit, and it hit me even more. So I thought, you know what, why not do a video while I'm reacting to it? So let me have a sip. Here's how I'm going to put this, and maybe I'm going to have to be smart about how I put this in the title. But I was thinking about it, and I was watching Raw, and really this is an accumulation of the last couple of months or years. But I'll say it like this, right? And this is how I'm going to phrase it. Daniel Bryan is a transitional champion. Roman Reigns is the guy they really want. Think about it. Daniel Bryan is just there to occupy time, to be there while the transition's being made, for Roman Reigns to eventually step in and be the all-conquering hero. And it's so obvious that WWE see Roman Reigns as their guy and not Daniel Bryan, even though Bryan is now off TV. But it's so obvious when you watch the TV that one of them is the guy and the other one isn't. Just look at how they were booked. Even look at what happened when they were signed. I remember when they signed, I think his name is, well, he used the name Laerke, but when they signed him, they were already touting this guy to be the next big star because he's third generation American football player, big guy. He was like 6'4" or something. At the time he was like 325 pounds. He's slimmed down quite a bit actually now. This is the guy, this is the blue chipper, this is the guy. This was in FCW at the time, before he even had his first match. And then when he was on FCW, they just constantly put him over. This is the guy, he's going to be the guy, he's the man. All throughout his time on FCW. And I thought he was NXT. I always thought he was okay for a guy of his experience level. So I never thought, oh god, he looks awful. He's okay for his experience level at that time. I didn't think he was particularly charismatic on the microphone or a great talker at that time. He was okay. You could just see this is a guy that needs development. And maybe he will be your guy in a few years at that time. Now compare that to when Daniel Bryan was signed. Lots of hype from people like us in our little universe of wrestling fans on the internet. Everyone excited, everyone talking, but was anyone in that company saying, this is going to be the guy? This is going to be the guy? Were there reports saying anything remotely like that? Nope, absolutely not. Now look at when they debuted onto the main roster. Daniel Bryan, despite having, how many years experience? He's been wrestling since 1999, right? I'm not doing the maths because I'm god awful at it. But wrestling from 1999, with his experience and his critical acclaim on the independent scene in Japan, in Mexico, being trained by William Regal, Dave Taylor, Finlay, all of those guys still he's not viewed as the guy or one of the guys, because you can have one guy, you can have several, and I think it's better you have a mix. You know, variety is the spice of life. Daniel Bryan was not groomed as the guy when he debuted on NXT. He was given Miz as a coach, which was a deliberate angle, and throughout all his time on the main roster, they constantly kept pointing things out. He's too small, his haircut's ridiculous, he's too pale, he doesn't have like a larger than life personality, he can't display charisma, he doesn't have star power, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. Constantly throughout his time on NXT. Roman Reigns debuts on the main roster. The complete opposite. Roman Reigns, look at how he was booked in the Shield. He's the guy leading the charge. He's the guy that's saying, get them up, get them up. His move is the move that takes everybody out. Not Dean Ambrose's headlock DDT, which is a really ghastly move anyways. Not Seth Rollins' curb stomp. But Roman Reigns' spear takes everybody out every single time. Every Shield match. That was the match that just finished it. So they were already building him up as the guy. Listen to the commentary whenever he came out. They were always putting Roman Reigns over early in the Shield. Every segment was done to kind of put him over. I remember the TLC match being very, very cleverly constructed to showcase him. Because you'll notice, if you go back and watch that match, who was the guy that leveled everybody every time they kept, Bryan, Kane and Ryback got their momentum going? Roman Reigns. He was always being built up as the big monster powerhouse guy. Basically, the guy. Look throughout Survivor Series 2013. Who was pushed as the guy? Roman Reigns. Listen to the commentary. Constantly putting him over. Constantly, this is the guy, oh, he's so charismatic, he's so big, he's so strong. He's definitely going to be a future world champion. Look at the Royal Rumble. Look at the promos they did with CM Punk. All I ever hear about is how great Roman Reigns is going to be. Has anyone ever actually said that about Daniel Bryan? In the booking, have they ever done that really? No. You know that they are planning to put that big run, the whole lot of stock into Roman Reigns because they're comfortable with him, because that is what they go for. Big, 6'4", 6'5" guys, third generation, able on the feet, not a clumsy klutz, but able enough. And that's the kind of guy they want to go with, the big, strong presence. Look at how he was pushed at the Royal Rumble. And again, while you can't necessarily push that with Daniel Bryan, why couldn't he have had at any of the Royal Rumbles the Shawn Michaels kind of push, where he's the first guy in and he's the very last guy out, and they put over his performance in the Royal Rumble? Never done that with him. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, eliminates every single person there, well, most of the people there, and it is constantly put over. It's even on WWE.com, Roman Reigns' eliminations at the Royal Rumble. It was put over so hard on commentary the next day. They had Kevin Nash come out and say, Roman Reigns will be a future WWE champion. You can just see they are maneuvering everything for him to be the guy. That is the guy they want to go with, whereas the fans want Daniel Bryan. Even look at how he's being pushed right now. He is the guy that won. He's going to be in the ladder match, from what I understand. Right? I can't remember if it's the one for the title shot in the future or for the title shot, but he's in one of them. Again, look at how he was pushed at WrestleMania, after WrestleMania. He was the guy that took out Triple H. He was the guy that took out Dave Bautista. He was pushed as the guy. They've never ever done that with Daniel Bryan. And look, I'm not opposed to them creating new stars. I mean, God knows I don't want to see another Cena main event or Cena and Orton main event. I'm always for new people coming up. Bray Wyatt being one, Bryan being another, Ambrose being another, Seth Rollins being another, maybe even Alexander Rusev in the future. I'm always for new faces and new people coming up. But to just go with one guy and completely dismiss somebody else is a mistake, in my opinion. And it's kind of like, you watch it, and you watch the promos with Daniel Bryan and this angle that they've done where he's always not an NA+ player, he's a B-level talent. Some people might think that's an angle. I watch that and then I look at how he's been utilised in the last 2, 3, 4 years, and I actually believe that they really think that in the office. I think they view him as a B+ player, and they couldn't say it any better. I mean, look at the angles. I guarantee you, if Roman Reigns was put in this angle with the Authority, I will guarantee you they would not say the same things about him in the promos. And I would also guarantee you he would be given smart-ass remarks to come back with, because he is their guy. Daniel Bryan, on the other hand, can't have one comeback on the microphone. because he's not their guy. And you know what? That is a real shame and a harsh truth to realise. And the thing is, look, I don't dislike Roman Reigns. I think he's alright. I don't think he's this mountain man of charisma just yet. I don't think he's the next Rock. You can't make him the next Rock. He has to be the first Roman Reigns, and you have to find out what it is that can get that. Because I'll say this, despite all the things that they have said about Daniel Bryan in their promos, Roman Reigns doesn't have the one thing that Bryan has, and that's this. Look at how the audience reacts to Daniel Bryan. Look at how passionate they have been in the last, since 2012, really, about Daniel Bryan, and how vocal they get, and how wound up they get, and how happy they get. Look at how they were elated at WrestleMania with how he was used. I don't see that with Roman Reigns right now, and I don't know if Roman Reigns will get to that level. The jury's still out there. But when you have that, could the WWE not just give like a tenth of what they've done with Roman Reigns and put it into Daniel Bryan? Could you imagine how much more different that would be? Could they just not do that just for one time? See, Roman Reigns was the guy being discussed to be Undertaker. Roman Reigns is the guy that's discussed to be beating Brock Lesnar if Brock Lesnar wins the belt. Roman Reigns is the guy that's been discussed to be in there with John Cena. Daniel Bryan is kind of just on the outskirts. Look at how he's been used in the feud with Kane. Again, do you see them doing that with Roman Reigns? Absolutely not. And it's just this harsh reality. You think about it, Bryan really and truly is a transitional champion, and it's unfortunate because the guy is so skilled, so well-rounded, can have a great match with anybody, can cut a promo. Don't put him in these god-awful, I know what you did last summer, knockoff angles with his wife. That's not what they can do. Do that with someone else. Yeah, don't do that with them. That's not what they're there for. And you know, it's a shame. It's almost like the image of a big banquet, right? And you've got all these wonderful meals and all these wonderful expensive wines and a great huge pork with an apple in its mouth and all of this great stuff. And Roman Reigns is at the top of the table feasting away, and Daniel Bryan is the little dog going for scraps. That's kind of how their booking reminds me right now when it comes to those two. And you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. You could... Why not go with Roman Reigns, but in the meantime, make Daniel Bryan as big as possible so that when those two collide, it's a fresh, big, gigantic pay-per-view matchup. You would think that. But then again, this has been their mentality. I remember a few years ago, it was the same thing with Alberto Del Rio versus CM Punk. Del Rio clearly was their guy. Look at how he was booked. CM Punk catches on, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, getting in the way of our plans. And that, unfortunately, is the way it's going. Anyways, I'm going to stop. I'm going to finish off my tap water, not Fiji water. Guys, you let me know what you think. You let me know what you feel. Stand up and say something. Come up and write something. Thank you for writing all your comments. Someone wrote a really nice comment on my channel the other day. I think his name was Chris McGregor. That really means a lot to me. I mean, it really means a lot to me. And, oh God, my cheeks. Yeah, comment, rate, subscribe. I do pro wrestling, I do MMA, and obviously I do comic books. And if you want, I'll even give you an impression of Ian McKellen as Magneto one day, or Michael Fassbender. I can do that. Guys, take care, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Enjoy the game tonight as well. Bye.